Hey guys, I want to make a video on this generator I picked up. I bought this off a guy. His name was Matt, so this is a shout out to you. Thanks for the good deal on the generator here, and I told you I'd probably make a video on it, so here it is. I did change the exhaust on it. I'll put in a picture of what the original, I call it original, what was on when I got it, exhaust looked like, and it had to, you see it pipe run all the way down here to a muffler. That's just something that holds heat and can, too much restriction can cause valve damage to it. So I put a more traditional type exhaust on it. It's just a 1-inch pipe. Did that right after I got it running. The first thing I did to get it running was I wasn't getting no fuel to the carburetor. So the fuel filter looked like it was clogged, so I unhooked the gas line here and turned the fuel valve on. Still no gas. So I put a pan over here, took the cap off, wrapped a rag around a blow nozzle, shot some air through it, and some dirt came out, and then gas started flowing pretty good. And I said, well, let's just hook it up and see what happens. Well, it started right up. It ran pretty good. I had to adjust the carburetor just a little bit. And this is a 1980 model. It's a model 24 Briggs cast iron block. You can see how the block is. It's all cast iron block. It's got the large updraft carburetor. It does have a solenoid here for a controlled idle to help save fuel. The engine, the number on the engine is 243431, type 0631-01. It's a 1980 model. It's a Homelite brand generator, 5,000 watts. I like the name they got on it, Voltomatic. But you got 4 regular 120 volt plugs, then the one larger with a 30 amp. Then down here you got a 240 volt plug in. You got a ground. You got a voltage selector. I keep it on the 120 and 240. Then this here, when it's on start, it runs at the your 3600 RPM constantly, but when it's on auto, it'll idle down. I've seen some of these, and this one did it at first. It'll surge up, then idle down, and surge up and idle down. But this one wanted to just idle down low after I got it running. But that's kind of a neat feature. 41 amps on the 120 circuit and 20.9 on the 220 circuit. So that's the biggest generator I got. It makes the little 5 horsepower 2200 watt look like a toy sitting beside this. This thing weighs a lot. I was going to buy the wheel kit from Harbor Freight like I did on the other generator. I remember I bought these wheels from Harbor Freight a long time ago and never did use them. And they actually got bearings in them. So I'm going to make some brackets and bolt them here. That way, it'll be like this, no power of course. Then make some type of leg for the front of it. And that way it can all be moved around a lot easier. You got to wrap a rope around it to start it. And this thing's got some serious compression. On most engines, I'll turn it over, get it to just right on the compression like that, and crank it. Well, this thing's got so much compression you can't do that. You turn it backwards till the compression starts that way. Then pull it that way. You're getting a little bit of momentum from the flywheel and everything. Then it ain't that bad. And the handle done broke on me. It done cracked right there. So I just wrapped it around that for right now. I'll get me a bigger handle or make one out of like a broom handle or something. That way I can get more leverage with it. And this is something else that's interesting. It's got a Stellite, I think that's how you say it, exhaust valve and seat, and an exhaust valve rotator. So it's a really nice generator, but being this big of an engine with that type of muffler, it is loud for a generator. And I think that's why they had that pipe set up like that. But I could shut it off, then 10 minutes later, touch this pipe right here, and it was still hot. And now, after it's running The block will still be warm, but this is done cooled off, so it's running cooler now. And good thing is, it don't smoke at all. I mean, literally no smoke at all. It's got to be a very low hours generator. I think it's just a backup generator for something. And another little problem I see, and I'm not worried about it at the moment, but I can't tell if the spark plug's been hit or if it's been put in cross-threaded. So if this is an issue, this will be a video later on pulling the head off and rethreading this and maybe putting a helicoil in it. Just have to wait and see, but right now it's running great, so I don't have no reason to pull the plug out. It's not leaking, so we're just going to ride that one out for right now. Okay, so I got to make some brackets here that'll bolt onto the frame. I don't want to weld directly onto it, so I'm going to cut this off here. And here, this is an old drag bar off one of them tillers we junked last summer. Put that in there like that. This is a 5/8 bolt. That's a 5/8 ID bearing. Okay, so I got this bracket here and this piece here. I'm trying to reuse the holes, the existing holes. That way I don't have to drill, because this is pretty thick metal. Alright, don't forget your safety glasses. Alright, so I got the brackets cut out, grinded down. We're going to be welding it. Y'all ain't seen my new welder yet. It's nothing special, but I did a little bit of work to it. It's a brand new Harbor Freight 125 flux core, but I converted it to DC. Now I get a lot better welds with it. Let me see, it's just a little 125. I converted it to DC. There's the capacitor. And the rectifier is mounted on the bottom. So I got this ready to weld. Okay, you can kind of see how I had to do this. I wasn't actually planning on having to weld to the frame, but it was just too weak. This channel was flexing too much with the tire. I didn't get the best looking welds on it, but it should be pretty strong. So now I just got to put the wheels on it. I'm going to paint everything first, make it look a little better, then put the wheels on it and go on to the next part. Alright, so I got a handle put on. I'm not sure what that handle was originally off, but it worked pretty good on there. And I used a handle off a push mower on the bottom here. And then look back here, you can see how I did the wheels. Had to put a little brace on there from the top. I think it'll work. Alright guys, we're ready to go. I got it hooked up to our 220 air compressor. It's got a 3 horsepower motor on it. So that'll be a good little load. I'll start it without it first and I'll turn it on. It's off. Yep. Alright, it should start right up. Okay, it seemed to take a 3400 watt load pretty good. So, but the problem was with the air compressor, I didn't have a plug to fit the 220 socket on this. So I checked with the meter. I was getting 240 across the two 120 volt plug-ins. So So I just ran 2 cords together, and I thought it'd be good enough to just for testing it for a few minutes, and it just cut the current down too much to start it. It tried that first time, and that was it. But so I just wanted to check it with the 3400, about over a 3,000 watt load, and it did that pretty good. So that's what the problem is. I'm still having fuel problems too. The line keeps clogging up here or something, and so all I gotta do is just, I'm gonna take this tank off and put a new fuel line on it, and fix the carburetor. Carburetor loads up with gas if you let it sit when it's not running. It's all right while it's running, but that's really the only 2 issues I'm having with it. So that's not too bad, nothing really major to worry about. So I think we'll be good to go on after I fix that, and it'll probably be off camera. I ain't gonna make a video on just flushing the tank out, but I just wanted to share it with you guys and show you what I had to do to get it going. So if you got any questions or comments about these generators, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.